News. I'm Sarah Bowman with the Department of Communications. Thank you for tuning into Community Connections. On this new show, we are going to chat with different nonprofit leaders from throughout the community. We want to hear about how they are impacting the lives of Newport News residents and uplifting our city. My co-host for this new program is Quincy White. Quincy is part of the Newport News Department of Human Services, and he is the Executive Director of the Four Oaks Day Service Center. Now, before I have Quincy talk about what he does, I want to introduce our very first panel. We have Amy Jones with the Heart of Giving, Sharif Boyd with Youthbuild, and Dan Carrera with Youthbuild. So before we begin our discussion, I first want to ask Quincy just to talk a little bit about Four Oaks and the work that you all do.
All right, thank you, Sarah. So at Four Oaks Day Service Center, we essentially serve as homeless services for the city of Newport News. We have a slew of different partners that work with us, including the Heart of Giving and Youthbuild. We provide a one-stop shop for all the homeless in the city.
And it's getting into the colder season. So what are your hours, days of operation, what kind of information?
Sure. So we're open 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. every single day, regardless of any holidays. We provide, again, showers, food 3 times a day, a barbershop, a salon, a clothing closet, laundry facilities, all for the homeless in one spot.
Excellent. And it's right here in Newport News. What's the address, Quincy?
The address is 7401 Warwick Boulevard in Newport News.
All right, so now we're going to jump into our first show. So bear with us. This is an unscripted conversation. We want to learn more about the nonprofits that are doing the work in our community. So Amy, I'm going to start with you. Can you tell us a little bit about the Heart of Giving?
Well, the Heart of Giving is, we're about touching hearts, changing lives, one community at a time. And I am, just privileged and honored to work with the Four Oaks to do what we do. So when the clients are coming in for services, and they are housed, what we do, we furnish their home for free. So we also assist with the Four Oaks on feeding the clients with hot meals. And also we also feed the Youthbuild as well. And so the Heart of Giving as a whole is encouraging the community to give. It's never about the receiver, it's about the givers. And so we encourage to help provide the lack that's in the community, and especially the homeless community. Like, my heart is there because I have been there. With the resources that are offering at the Four Oaks right now, it's just so amazing that they can come there and get the services that that the Four Oaks offered. And I have not known any other services out there that do what we do on a daily basis, opening 7 days a week. With the people that are there, it is just amazing. For us, it's more like, we are filling in the gaps of the lacks, food, clothes, hygiene products, furniture, even pet items that we're able to provide, and baby items, new moms, single moms, veterans, seniors. So we serve all the populations there, and our heart is making sure that they get their needs met and they're not lacking of anything. So we do go out of our way and ensure that they get their needs met. So I'm so grateful for the partnership with the Four Oaks to provide that whatever their lack of, they can call us, and we're also within that building that, we can provide the items. So donations are coming in every day. We're picking up items, and then, we deliver to wherever the needs are. We work with so many other agencies that do send us a referral application on the items that they're in need of, and then we check in our inventory, and then we schedule a delivery as well. So to ensure, because a lot of them do not have transportation, so we offer their services as well. So yeah, it's basically, we're about touching hearts, changing lives, and giving them hope, and providing resources and building relationships within the community. And the homeless population is greater now, but they're also human just like us. They're just at a different stage of life for whatever reason, but we're there to actually serve them. So anyway.
That's excellent. And you mentioned hope, which also makes me think about Youthbuild, because this program for the city of Newport News, it helps young people and it gives them hope and helps them change the direction of their lives. So Dan, you want to talk about Youthbuild?
Well, good morning. Thank you, Sarah, for having me here. I appreciate the time. Youthbuild, we're under the Volunteers of America, Chesapeake and Carolina, and we service Hampton and Newport News. area. And the bottom line is we provide a service for young adults between the ages of 16 to 24 from at-risk community. If you have a high school diploma, we help them increase their literacy. If you do not, we help them get their GED. Along with that, we also have the ability for our students to get their trades in carpentry, electrical, plumbing, and HVAC. And once they're done with that, then we have the opportunity to get them employed. We have a lot of community resources in the area. We have a lot of employers who are looking for our students to come out and work for them. So we're a workforce development program. So we're really excited about providing that support to the community.
I'm so glad you're here, Dan, but no offense, I'm even happier that Sharif is here because he is one of my favorite people. So Sharif, can you tell us a little about yourself and what you've done and learned in Youthbuild?
Thank you for having me again. I think the best thing about Youthbuild was being able to have like a sense of power to where as though I can help empower others. Like being looked at as the voice of the youth for Youthbuild makes me excited, knowing that we have somebody who's not afraid to speak up for us and to let us be heard. And I enjoy it, even though like sometimes it's difficult dealing with different atmospheres and different personalities. I still try to bring the youth together and be like, we can do this. If we can do this now, we can do this and lead other youth into following in our footsteps. So I'm happy to be at Youthbuild. I'm happy that Mr. Dan challenges me to be the best leader that I can be. I'm happy that Mr. Quincy and Miss Amy give me words of encouragement anytime I see them around the Four Oaks Day Center building. And yeah, I'm happy to be here.
We're lucky to have you.
So Amy, tell us, how did the Heart of Giving come about?
Well, the Heart of Giving started out about 2011. My husband and I had owned a daycare, a boutique, a bridal shop, and a consignment shop within the community in Oak Harbor, Washington. And so as I'm serving the community in a different aspect of making money, there are many families that came through that was in need, and I didn't see the need within the community until I went out into the marketplace to do what we did. And so when I saw the need, my heart just was drawn to it, and it reminded me as a single mother in San Diego, and I was homeless. So it's okay for me to cry. So, as I was homeless in San Diego as a single mother, I didn't see the resources out there. So when I was in the community, it's just seeing the need was just drawing me to how can I help these families who was hungry, who was needing clothes or needing a prom dress or needing food and furniture. They're sleeping on the floor. And it brought back to when I struggled, the way I struggled. And then my husband and I, we struggled at our early marriage. We moved to Pensacola, Florida, and we didn't have any furniture in our apartment. I mean, none. We didn't have anything. So I built a relationship within the apartment complex. So praise God that our apartment was right across the street from the base. And my husband went to work every single day, and I've built a relationship within the community. And because it's a military community, I was able to just talk to the people. I was like, hey, are you leaving? I'll find out them leaving. Can I have that? I don't have a bed. My son don't have a bed. We don't have a dining room table. So by the time we left our home, that place, our apartment was fully furnished. Wow. So building relationship is very, very important within the community, and I know we hear sometimes, we don't have any friends, but it's all up to us and how we go and meet and build a relationship with the community. And so in Oak Harbor, that's what I did. I met the clients or the customers that came through. They voiced their needs and their opinion, and my heart was just drawn to like, God, this is what you have for me, to serve the community. And next thing you know, I'm giving stuff out of my store, didn't even think about the price tag. It's not like, what do you need? How can I help you? And then my husband was getting ready to transfer out here in 2011, October 23rd. I went ahead and did my first Facebook page called The Heart of Giving. And that's when I woke up the next morning and there was so many people on the page and giving to one another. It's because we're just like a village, like a community. You know, it's like going to the next door neighbor and say, hey, do you have a cup of sugar or a cup of milk, or can I have a stick of butter? You know, so the Heart of Giving Facebook page is allow the community to come together and connect, because sometimes silent lack is silent and we don't know their needs. And so my heart has just always been like, okay, there are needs everywhere. We just don't know. And we have no place to say, okay, they don't have a need. And so 2011 is when we had birthed the Heart of Giving, and then we moved here and I started the page again, and I started giving out of my garage. You know, it's like we had our first free giveaway. I think we had 300 some people in our neighborhood just came out, and it was just like, wow, like, you know, just to see them come. You're not asking how much money they make, and they're coming with their children, they're coming with the seniors. We had someone came in wheelchairs to come in just to get the items from my garage, you know, so, and that's how it's just, my heart is just wanting, you know, to provide that lack, that silent lack, just even during this pandemic. It's like there's just so much lack. You know, we all can come together, like the Four Oaks serving the homeless clients. And nobody goes, oh, they're homeless, but no, they're humans. They have feelings and they have a need, you know, and we treat them with integrity, you know, with honor, and respect them as well, you know. So just I have a background in that, so my passion now is just making sure they don't lack anything. The children will have a bed to sleep and have toys, or, you know, they don't have to lack in silence, you know. So yeah.
That's amazing. That is amazing.
You're doing very powerful work. And one thing you brought up is there's a lot of misconceptions about the homeless community.
Right.
What are your thoughts on that, Quincy?
Well, I think a lot of times folks don't realize most people are one paycheck away from being homeless, right? As Amy stated, the homeless are human beings. These are folks that were skilled in the past, are still skilled, maybe fell on hard times and just need a leg up a lot of times. And, you know, usually that word of encouragement, or having an organization that's willing to go all out for you, or having an organization that's willing to go to bat for you, is all you really need to really get to the next level. But they're humans, they're people just like everyone else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you mentioned going to bat, and Dan, you go to bat for the young men and women in your program every day. Can you kind of talk through what you do?
Yes, ma'am. I would tell you that I keep it really simple. Mr. Sharif can understand this. The model for Youthbuild is commitment plus opportunity equals success. And one of the things that we talk about all the time is the commitment has to come from them. It can't come from anybody else. Then we give them the opportunity, i.e. Mr. Quincy White, with some of the things he has in his program. Definitely Miss Amy. She has really serviced our clients a lot in various things, from getting them vehicles to getting them, helping them with a place to stay, with getting them furnished. So this is a community effort, and a lot of folks need to understand what's happening inside the walls of Four Oaks. So commitment plus opportunity. Opportunity is given from us, Mr. White, and also Ms. Jones, and success is right around the corner. And we have some successful outcomes from our program from some of our students. So we're very excited in regards to that.
So Sharif, talk about some of your successes since being in Youthbuild.
Some of my success, I would have to say that my greatest success in being Youthbuild is being team leader. Being the big brother that everybody comes to for anything, that right there for me is enough. Even though I've had the chance to be on the news, I've had the chance to speak to a bunch of city officials and everything, that's all fine and dandy to me. But I think the biggest takeaway for me as far as me being successful is having everybody look up to me and be like, okay, Reef, what can we do? How can we fix this? And how can we go about that? And that, it might be stressful again, but I wouldn't have it no other way, because it's like, growing up, my auntie always told me if I could help somebody, help as many people as I can, even if it's just one person with the slightest thing, like giving them some sneakers or something. So Youthbuild success, being a team leader, being the big brother for everybody.
Can I add something to that?
Of course.
I think it's all about preparation. So I'm going to use Mr. Sharif. One of the things that we want to make sure we do is we prepare our students for success. Anybody can get through a 6-month program, but what are you going to do afterwards? So when he talked about team leaders, Mr. Sharif was in charge of a project for Mr. White. which was the Four Oaks project, and him and his team built a gazebo or a patio shelter in the courtyard. So what he was the team leader under the instructions of our instructors for construction, and he sat down and spoke with Mr. White because he was the customer for the project. So that prepared Sharif for life after Youthbuild. So everything that he learned in the program, now he got a chance to learn the construction piece. He got a chance to learn the leadership development. So prayerfully, that's what's going to take him past the 6-month program over here and get him ready. And he has a lot of individuals knocking on the door right now, for his technical ability, not only what he can do construction wise, but also, his persona. And the way he presents himself, which is just fabulous. So he's a very shy individual, but he's doing much more than what he says in regards to Youthbuild.
What do you want to do after Youthbuild?
After Youthbuild, I want to get a good paying job, but I've talked to Mr. Dan, Ms. Tanisha, and Ms. McKeenan about this. I want to go to college to study music. That's my biggest passion in life. I feel as though music is an art form which allows me to express myself and be free, and not only be free but be comfortable, especially in my own skin. So that's pretty much what I want to do.
So I could speak on firsthand what Director Carrera has done in Youthbuild and the leaders that they've made, including Sharif, and some of the amazing projects that they've done throughout Four Oaks, to include our community garden and courtyard that we're building up at the Day Center to be manned by some of our homeless citizens and has been built by our Youthbuild students. They've also built up our food pantry at the Day Center and our salon that's also at the Day Center. So Dan, Sharif, and everyone at Youthbuild are doing some amazing things.
And Amy, you contributed to basically all of these projects, correct?
Absolutely.
So how did you get involved with Four Oaks?
Wow. Well, it was through Mike Taylor. He was, top of our human services housing broker team, and we met at the meetings that we go through monthly and how to prevent homelessness and even the crime through the police department. So that's how Mike and I met. And then we was already serving the community, serving the agencies within Newport News and Hampton and all that. So when the Four Oaks came about, he's like, Amy, there's, we really need your service there. And I was like, well, then get my service there, And so next thing you know, there was a meeting, I think the mayor's meeting, and he invited me to the meeting, and I was able to talk to Mr. Allen, and he just like, you have my blessings. And next thing you know, I went ahead and went to the Four Oaks, and the rest was history, and they were in the process of just getting certain items into the building, and it's just at that time that we moved in, we had companies who was closing down, and they were giving us all their office furniture. So we was able to go pick it up and furnish the Four Oaks, So whatever the Four Oaks need, we was able to get it at that time, and they're putting the picture ups, the chairs, and everything. So it was just, and it's a gap that was missing, from the agencies to the clients. So our mission was to fulfill that gap, and it served so well because all the agencies on there, they have used our services outside before the Four Oaks came about, So it feels so good and fitting to have us there because Quincy was like, Amy, you have this. I said, I got you, and Dad was like, Amy, you got this. I got you.
Amen.
So it's like right there. And it's just so perfect timing when they ask for certain things. I just got it, so it was meant for whomever that's need to get the items, down to office furniture, down to suitcases. I mean, these are the things people don't think about, and so. And we've been there since it opened, and it has been just amazing with the connection, working together, the collaboration in order to serve the homeless clients that we serve. Not just the homeless clients, we serve all the the peninsula, who needs our service, But yeah, it's just been so amazing over there. Yeah.
So the impact that the Heart of Giving has had on the Day Center has been amazing. Currently, the largest clothing closet in the state
Yes.
is overseen by Amy and the Heart of Giving.
And that's at Four Oaks?
That's at Four
Yes.
Oaks.
I had no
Yeah.
idea. Congratulations.
Yes.
Wow.
To include that, Tori's Closet that was formerly located at South Morrison is
Yes.
also a part of
In
our
there.
clothing closet. So Amy and the Heart of Giving has made tremendous impact on the Day Center and the community at large. The Day Center cannot function without the Heart of Giving. So Amy has done some amazing work, amazing work.
Well, and so have you, Quincy. I mean, you have really created a dynamic team,
Yes.
and you all work together very well. You identify the gaps that might be existing, and you really complement each other. And that
Yes.
speaks a lot to your leadership, but your determination to really change our community.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I want to piggyback. I mean, Quincy is, when he came in, you know, he took on a project or took on a lead that was needed. And I love about Quincy is that he hears your concerns and your, you know, your questions and your whatever it is. And he's like, I'll take care of it. And when he says he'll take care of it, he'll take care of it. So he has such great leadership within the community, within the Four Oaks, bringing the people together in collaboration. And like, hey, we have a goal here, we have the clients here, let's work together. So he has such great leadership. And Quincy, you know, I applaud you because it's not easy coming in and to do what you do and having still a flint face, you know, and just say, okay, we got to do this. We don't have a choice. And you stood the ground, and here you are today because you've made an impact on bringing the community together. So.
Thank you. Well, ultimately, you know, that's the goal of Community Connections, is to bring nonprofit partners of the community here to speak on what they do, make sure that the community at large is aware of some of the dynamic things that they're doing.
Exactly. Now, how many people are served at Four Oaks?
Wow. So on the daily, we serve about 100 people a day, 100 plus a day, comes through our doors. That's not including Youthbuild. So you're probably looking at 120 people that are being served every single day.
Oh, wow.
So that's food that's donated. All food is donated thanks to the Heart of Giving and some of our community partners. All the services that are provided are from different partners. We have over 30 different partners at the Day Center that work towards working with the homeless, work with the youth, you know, domestic violence victims, you name it, veterans. We serve them all at the Day Center.
And you mentioned the youth, and one thing that Dan, every time you're having a recruitment event, you call me and you say, Sarah, we're having a hard time finding young people for the program, which if you're watching this and you are between the ages of what or know somebody.
Yes, if you're watching this between the ages of 16 to 24, right now we're currently recruiting for young men and young women between the age of 16 and 24 for our program. But I also want to give a shout out, blessings to Quincy, blessings to Miss Amy, but the city of Newport News has been awesome. Yeah. Sarah Bowman has been awesome in regards to her communication outreach, putting us, with the daily press and things of that nature. Also, the senior leaders in Newport News have been awesome, from the city managers to the assistant city managers to the program managers. They are really behind the efforts because it's all about these young men and these young women, the Sharif Boyds of the world. That's what it's all about. So we understand that. And I just want to say one more thing in regards to Mr. White. Mr. White has no problem going behind the plow. Mm-hmm. Mr. White has no problem going behind the plow. He is not one of those leaders who sits back in his office and watch other things happen. Whatever needs to get done, Mr. White is there. I'm very fortunate in regards to being a part of his team. It's a collective effort. We meet probably more than we should when I come by his office. But he understands the professional love that I have for him and what he's doing for the city at large.
Well, you are all doing incredible things in the city and community. So how can people get involved? And I'll start with you, Dan, and then go to Amy. But how can someone get involved?
I'm just reaching out to the city of Newport News. Who's ever watching is if you know young men or young women who are in need. We need a commitment from them. Community outreach. Any young men or young women who is in the need of a GED, please give us a call. I'm sure the information will be put out. We have a website that you can refer, or just come to Four Oaks Day Training Center. Support Center, and take a tour. I always say that the eyes can do more than what the ears can hear. I always say that the eyes can do more, so come see what we're doing and you'll be pleasantly pleased.
And there's no cost for the young people to get involved.
No cost, ma'am. As Miss Amy's mentioned, they get food and they get a stipend up to $150 a week. And there's also incentives once they pass their GED or other things, we incentivize them for a myriad of reasons. So I always say, please do not turn down free chicken. Please do not turn down free chicken. What that means is there's a lot that we can provide, and we garner the program towards the student. So whatever he or she needs, we make sure we tailor the program for their needs. Their success is important to us.
And Sharif, what would you say to someone who might be a little nervous about maybe going into this, who's thinking about it?
It's okay to be nervous. I'm nervous right here, trying to tell y'all not to be nervous. But all honesty, even like I'm about to complete the program soon. So for me, I still come to Youthbuild nervous sometimes because it just gives me that feeling like I'm doing this. And it's hard to believe you're doing something, especially when you're used to facing adversity and like looking at it as though all the odds are against you. And it's like you got to beat the odds. And me being at Youthbuild was one way to beat the odds for the youth. It's like take leadership. Somebody coming here is to take control. Somebody who's always asking, well, what's next? What else can I do? How can I do this? I want to be a part of that. That's something that gets me through being nervous about being in Youthbuild, because the more I occupy myself, the less time I have to worry about being nervous, because I'm doing something that not only helping me, it's helping a bunch of other people in any way. Some ways we help people, we don't even see it. And that's the best part about it. Is like, it's good to help the people and like you can see the help, but those who you help and you can't see it and they still benefit from it, that's the better feeling for me. So anybody watching this ages 16 to 24, don't be nervous to come to Youthbuild, because it's going to give you an opportunity to do a bunch of stuff you would have never thought about doing.
And you didn't even mention you got to build a home or help build a home with Habitat for Humanity.
Yeah. That project right there, for me, it was amazing, because it's like I used to always walk past the neighborhood and see them out there. And I was like, I want to be a part of that one day. And to have the opportunity to actually be a part of that was just like, that's something I could check off my bucket list. And it was just like, I hope to actually go out there and do more work like that, because I enjoyed myself. Why? It was a learning experience. And then knowing that once that house is complete, to actually have somebody move into that house and I can walk past with my nieces and be like, hey, I built this house now, somebody lives here. So it's all a good feeling.
Absolutely, a huge accomplishment.
And Sharif, kind of just speak really quick. I know we've talked about this before. I know that you're really into music and you got a chance to work at the music studio over at Brooks Crossing, but you also have some ideas of grandeur of going back to Philadelphia, a couple of things you want to do over there. Kind of speak to that.
So basically what Four Oaks does here, I want to do back home in Philadelphia on a way larger scale. Because back home, we have a bunch of abandoned places, like homes, buildings, and everything. And I feel as though with the path that I'm on now, in the next 3-4 years, I can be starting my business to help get the homeless people off the streets and back into today's society, while also helping low-income families. Because I know what it feels like to be a child of a parent who's working a lot and still having hard times meeting ends meet when it comes to clothes and putting food on the table and worried about light bills and water bills and stuff like that. And I feel like with these next generations that's coming up, they shouldn't have to worry about none of that. And I feel as though if there's anybody who can do this, it's me. And so that's what I'm going to do.
Excellent. It sounds exciting, and I know you can accomplish it. I just hope you'll stay in Newport News and do some of this. We don't want to lose you.
Oh no, Newport News is definitely where I'm going to start at. And that's only because Newport News gave me the opportunity to look at the professional world. And it'll kind of be like a slap in the face to just uproot and leave when I give back to Newport News when Newport News gave a lot to me. So I got to start here before I can get back home.
Well, wherever you go and whatever you do, you have a huge cheering section and supporters.
Amen.
Yes. So, Amy, how do people get involved with the Heart of Giving?
Well, as of right now, we're so grateful for the people that's already involved. As we feed the clients at the Four Oaks and the Youthbuild, we have individuals within the Newport News that sign up that they adopt a day out of the month to cook the meals. And then we also have churches that come in, organizations that come in. They cook, they schedule. We have for the Four Oaks is 30 days because we open 7 days a week. For Youthbuild, it's Monday through Friday. So they can contact me at the Heart of Giving at the Four Oaks. It's 757-975-5260, and they can participate in adopting a day. For what it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we do have some days open right now in order to feed the clients, and we'll ask 100 plus clients. So we are looking for cooks, chefs, restaurant owners, organizations and churches who's willing to participate in adopting a day out of the month. We're grateful for the ones that already been that adopted the days that have been cooking for the last 3 years, since and they've been faithful every month on their days to cook for the clients, and so we're grateful for that. And also we're looking for volunteers to help organize in our household and furniture department. We have department now, so and also for the clothes departments. And we're so grateful for Tori's Closet. They came in with the women's club who comes and work in the clothes department on Mondays and Wednesdays. So if anybody, and then also for Serve the City, they bring volunteers on every second Saturdays from 9 to 12. They can come and serve on that day. And then we're so grateful, again, for those that have participated, to help us do what we do. I can't do this alone. I cannot lead this alone. Partnering up with Four Oaks, with Quincy and Dan, Youthbuild, we have made such an impact within it, but we all cannot do this alone. Mm-hmm. We're basically there to answer any question, to lead and guide and all that, but the people come alongside and to help fulfill and push this forward to meet greater within the community. There's a lot of homeless we have not touched or we have not seen, and many more that will come, and that we have to be prepared in place in order to help meet their needs. So my heart is making sure that we serve with a purpose, that we serve with a good heart, that with a pure heart. Mm-hmm. We can't just come and serve without, with a good heart. Mm-hmm. So we're looking for anybody who's willing to come on board to help us, again, to sort and organize, even volunteer at the Four Oaks. Right now, we need volunteers at the Four Oaks as well to serve the clients that we have, and it's such a great opportunity to serve without having to say, okay, what can I get out of this? There's nothing getting out of this. Mm-hmm. You're here to serve the community, so, and I give God praise for those that have participated with us in the last 10 years for the Heart of Giving. And we just celebrated our 10 years anniversary in October.
Congratulations.
As a nonprofit, and we're just so grateful, with the collaboration. And I believe when a collaboration happens, we're making greater impact. Mm-hmm. Their organization is growing, we're growing, another one's growing, the people are growing, their heart's growing, and everybody get their needs met. So the lack is greater, and we need the volunteers. So.
Mm-hmm. What about at Four Oaks, Quincy? How can people get involved?
Sure. So if you're homeless and you're in need of services, you can give us a call at 757-975-5201. Of course, if you're interested in volunteering, you can call that same number. It goes directly to our front desk. And we will give you directions on to get help or to volunteer. We're always looking for volunteers in our salon, our barber shop, to volunteer in serving food, volunteer maybe at the front desk to interact with some of our clients. So if you're interested, please give us a call. All right, so thank you for joining us for our first episode of Community Connections. The hope of Community Connections is to bring different nonprofit partners like the Heart of Giving and Youthbuild to speak about some of the amazing work they do in the city of Newport News. If you're interested in participating, please, click on the link below, look at the email address located below, and we will certainly reach out to you. Thank you again.